Okay, so the first major question that I get a lot, especially as the year is coming to an end, is Rich, how do I position myself to land this job before the year ends? Because, like, hiring managers are going to be going on vacation, the holidays are coming in, families coming in, yeah, people also flying out. Is it even worth it? Should I wait until the new year? And these are some very valid concerns, especially after we just wrapped up in the election, right? How do you go out there and position yourself? So, the first major question that we should go out there and ask ourselves is, are companies even still hiring for product managers in the months of November and December? I can tell you yes. Well, obviously, you want to go ahead and clear cash and get me to enroll in your program, bro. Not really. Product Gym just had its seventh birthday. So I made a post a few days ago, November 7th. As of the time of this recording, we are wrapping up Veterans Day. Is November 7th, 2017 was the day, crazy enough, was the day 7 years ago that Product Gym first opened up its doors. This was the first event that we had for Product Gym in New York City, the city that made everything possible for me. I absolutely love this place. With that said, during that time, I've had people that were enrolling that basically secured anywhere between 20 to 30 interviews a week. And why is that? There's a few reasons. Number one, companies have a hiring budget that by the end of the year, if they don't use it, they absolutely lose it. And whether it's a good market or it's a bad market, and I know a lot of people right now are saying things are brutal, things are impossible, it's not worth it getting a product manager job, what have you. I can go ahead and let you know this. Regardless of if the market is good or bad, and you can go ahead and basically see from my background, I got into this racket as far back as 2014, going into 2016, and then going into, as you can see, the other positions that I've held. I can tell you this: companies procrastinate on hiring all the time, but companies are, hiring managers still posting up for roles. So I've been posting up like market is ripping right now. Market is ripping right now with product manager roles. Product manager is like, this was just posted an hour ago. It's like Christmas out here. Blah, 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 blah. Positions are being posted. Positions are being posted. Positions are getting posted galore. And if you're not getting those interviews, maybe it's your resume. I don't know, because like this position was just posted an hour ago. I don't know because I haven't had a chance to go out there and take a look at your resume. That could be it. There could be other factors as well. What you do need to understand is during the end of the year, there's a hiring budget. If you don't use it, you absolutely lose it. And regardless of how the market's performing, that budget, once it's allocated, if you don't fulfill that position, recruiting teams are just going to think you don't need the budget. Like, yo, you guys had a budget approved to go out there and hire a product manager, a senior PM, for the past 12 months, and you guys only interviewed 8 people all year. It's kind of clear to me that maybe we should hand this budget to get another engineer, UX designer, because they've been screaming at me saying they need another headcount. And companies, they always procrastinate on hiring people until the very end. Second, most people are telling themselves that it's bad. Market's bad. Market's bad. First things first, stop doing that to yourself, because if the market is really that bad, that means hiring you is not going to make a difference, which means, like, you can't go in from like a negative mentality into a positive mentality when you're in the interview unless you're like a psychopath, because your brain's going to naturally believe that, but it's not bad. I mean, your strategy just needs a little bit of tweaking. I'm not saying you're bad either. I'm just saying your strategy needs a little bit of tweaking. A lot of people don't choose not to apply. So I had this one lady that was in my program, my first cohort ever, between Black Friday to Christmas Eve. She had more than 71 interviews booked, from round ones all the way to the final rounds, all generated from positions that she applied to a few days before Thanksgiving. Why? Nobody was applying. Nobody was applying because they kept on telling themselves that there's no point in applying, and because they told themselves that there was no point in applying, they weren't applying. Because they weren't applying, they weren't booking interviews. When I was a tech recruiter, the most amount of money that I've ever made always came from Q4, because all the other recruiters would be coasting until the following year, and I'd go out there, take their lunch, and print cash. So there's that. Third, you got election year that just wrapped up. Now, I don't want to go ahead and make this political, but Dow just soared 1,500 points, and people are going to be like, oh, is this guy... Okay, let's leave politics aside, and let's just look at data. Product managers should look at data, right? At the end of every presidential election, I started this business in 2017. When was Trump first elected? In 2016. I can tell you, 2017, I printed mad cash, okay? As a business owner, as a first-time business owner, and a big part of that was the first official year for a new a president after the election. I was told by almost all of my mentors when I was in tech recruiting that if companies are willing to spend money on a tech recruiting agency and provide them with the fee to hire people, to hire talent, rockstar talent faster, that is a very strong indicator of the economy trending towards the right direction. Now, I will also make the point that when Joe Biden got elected in 2020, 2021 was also a great year. A lot of people forget, it wasn't that long ago. 2021 was the year of quiet quitting and the year of the great resignation. So there was a few factors that came into play, and it wasn't just because, we found a way to go out there and work in a COVID environment remotely with the vaccine, and people didn't want to go back to the office, and then you hear stories about people having multiple jobs at the same time. I will go ahead and say this. It was also because it was the year following an election. So any time follows the election, almost always, I'm not an economist, but from the people that were doing tech recruiting as a service, for at least a decade before I even got into the game, they told me the previous presidential elections, the year after that was great. This year, I don't know. I mean, anything can happen, but it seems like things are at the very immediate short term trending towards the right direction, and the majority of the bleeding has been over. So definitely go ahead and double down on your applications, and definitely, if you want to go ahead and do this thing on your own, by all means, just join my school program right here, and I've equipped you with all the resources to go out there and take this job hunt into your own hands. No longer waste time and just land this job already. If you need help, go ahead and definitely come over here. In all of my videos, the description has this Calendly link. You can go out there and schedule a call with either myself or one of my team members. We're getting absolutely blown off the hook right now, but just know this: we can only commit so many spots in a month, and we can only commit so many spots in a month, and our bandwidth to coach people is limited. So definitely, if you tell yourself that the market's bad, if you tell yourself don't go out there and apply, you're just not. But market has done very, very well at the end of the year. So we have election just wrapped up. We know who's going to be in the White House. Hate it or love it. The year following the election has always been great. Most of the time, I'm pretty sure I'm not an economist, but from what I see from how CNN and MSNBC and Fox Business interviews economists, a lot of times these people are just saying very fancily they don't know either. But companies, if they don't have a hiring budget, they use it or they lose it. Third, the first point that I made was this: Product Gym started in November. Started it in November, in the middle of Q4. And we absolutely went out there and crushed it in terms of the interviews that we generated. So definitely go out there and apply.